Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, I'll tell you, if you're a fan of movies or TV, this is a guy, one of the most recognizable faces you're going to see. One of the best character actors of the last decade and a half, probably, or longer, 20 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Let's talk to Michael Rooker. What's up, man?
Not much. How are you?
How you doing? I got to tell you, I'm a fan of a lot of your stuff, but I have never really gotten a chance to
You never really liked my acting.
No,
It's okay.
I do. I enjoy it a lot. And I never got a chance to interview anybody who was in the ensemble of 8 Men Out, you know. And that's one of my favorite parts you've ever done. I get the feeling from that movie that you guys, in researching those roles, really, I don't know, it seems like you really got to like those guys and had an understanding for what they did. And we're sort of supportive of them, the Black Sox in 1919. Am I right in saying that?
I think you're right. I mean, my character, Chick Gandil, was...
He was the guy really a proponent of let's do this, you know.
Well, he wasn't getting paid much money. He needed to make a little dough, you know?
Yeah, you guys did a good job of the director, John Sayles. You guys did a good job of showing, like, look, this was kind of justified what they did in a way. They were playing for the cheapest guy in the world, and Comiskey, and their bonus for a great year. I think one of the best years ever was a couple of bottles of champagne that was flat.
You know, and I think those guys got paid the least out of the leagues.
Right, and they were the best. They were the best in the league.
Yeah, they're best in the league.
Now, a movie like that, did you have fun doing something like that? Because not only do you act, you got to be a good ball player. Was that difficult to do?
That was really hard, man.
Yeah.
Because, when you really want to put it out of the ballpark.
Make it look good, right?
And you can't.
Right.
And the director's going, no, cut. Rooker, you cannot hit the ball. I was like, how do you, I don't know. Yeah, no.
Did you play ball in school or anything?
I played ball, yeah.
You did?
And
Yes,
not,
you were good at
I
it.
like high, you know.
Right. Was Sayles a good guy to
Teenager.
work? Was John Sayles a good guy to work for? Good director?
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
good writer, good director.
Well, I tell you, I think you've made a whole generation look at that team and go, well, look, it's kind of what they did. I think I would have done it, you know. Your character, Chick Gandil, was he just one of the guys who just never got reinstated, right?
Has any of them got reinstated? I don't think so.
Did Buck Weaver ever get a break?
I don't think he did.
He never did, huh? I thought maybe they let him back in. Shoeless Joe, to this day, he's the most famous one, you know. But I thought,
I don't think any of them
none of them
ever got back in. Yeah.
So, talk about what you're doing now. You're doing a show called The Walking Dead.
I was in The Walking Dead. I am now one of the dead.
And, but is this a show?
But I did the show for 3 seasons. I was there the first season for a few episodes, just to set up the character. Then of course, on the rooftop, I'd disappear and go off into the wild world and reappear as a guardian angel.
I was going to say, this is a show, though, where the dead come back.
That's right.
Right. So where are you from, Mike?
Alabama.
You're an Alabama guy.
Grew up in Chicago.
Now, did you study acting in Chicago?
I did. I went to a theater school called the Goodman School of Drama.
Right, and Chicago's pretty hardcore with all kind of performing, from comedy to acting. You got all these different theater companies are from there, and Steppenwolf and all this stuff, and Second City. And then do you go to L.A. right after that, or you go to New York?
No, I stayed in Chicago for several years. Yeah, and I worked. That was usually my base. I'd go to New York, audition, go to L.A. audition, interview and stuff like that. And I landed several jobs before I even moved out to L.A.
Now, what was it like doing TV after a long career in movies? Well, the TV now is real,
surprisingly good.
Yeah, TV now is like real art. It's
Dude,
like
I did TV way back when, you didn't want to really do TV.
What kind of television did you do?
Oh, dude, I've forgotten all those. Look at the IMDb thing. I don't care. But yeah, there were some shows that I did back then, and guest star type stuff that just like no, it wasn't good. It was I did several here in New York.
A lot.
Oh, you did?
No, you did your homework.
I mean, you look at the filmography. This thing is
done a lot of work,
on
man.
and on
a lot of work.
and on. Yeah,
you got to pay
it's
bills.
An incredible career.
Well, now the other thing that I know you mostly from, Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah.
Now, what is that like to get into that kind of part, man? To get into a head like that? I mean, Was it scary?
You know what? It was probably one of my most challenging roles.
Yeah.
It was the first one. First off, it was,
Right. You're young?
I was young. Right out of theater. I'd done mostly theater. I'd had some little guest star, just guest billing things here and there, but nothing with a real actor kind of through line. Throughout the piece. So Henry was the first, and I was I was scared.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, you know what? I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't know if I'm gonna dig, shooting out a sequence.
Now, when
and all this kind of
did
stuff.
you figure that? Like before, while you were reading it, or like when you get into shooting the movie, did you go, I don't know if I can get through it?
After I got cast.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I was cast.
So that's scary.
And I was like, wow, because when I first auditioned, they didn't really have a script. I mean, the script was written on like something like this.
Really?
Yeah. This is our script.
So
they had about 40 or 50 of these.
They want you to improv a lot. They want you to sort of like just play around with it, make it your own type of thing.
They definitely wanted to make it. Every actor you want to make it your own, but this was
based on a true
little
story.
above and beyond. Make it your own. Okay, Rooker, go home and write this scene.
Well, you should get a writing. You get a writing
I should have
credit.
gotten a writing credit for the table scene. I did that on my in my bathroom on the toilet with a tape recording.
How nasty did you make the guy? Like, did you make the guy as you went on and like you're creating this character, and it's based on a true story? Would they ever say to you, "Look, you gotta hold back the range or make him nastier," or like how do you create a?
No, he never directed that way. He'd basically just left it up to me.
Really?
Just instinct and
It's hard to do,
imagination, and my only requirement was to, after they cut, I would leave the scene. I'd go and hang out in my room.
Right. But you got to move the story along, and I mean that sounds like a real difficult thing to do.
Well, I didn't have to think a lot about a lot of the other character. The actor's job is actually quite simple. You're just thinking about your own stuff. I don't care about your stuff.
It's simple.
I don't care about
It's
your
simple
stuff.
if you're good at it. It's simple if you know what you're doing. But if it's not working on screen, that can be hard, man.
Nah, everything works on screen. So. I mean, for me, whatever I do is right. So.
I'll show you a couple of my movies. and then you run the gamut. Then you have on your resume something like Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And like a real physical thing, stunts. Like, are you one of these guys that does stunts, like your own stunts and stuff? Or?
Almost. I don't think I've done anything that I would consider a stunt.
Right.
If I can get out there and we do a scene where we're having a big brawl or a big fight. That's kind of fun. Me and my cousins used to do that, when I was 10, 11,
Why not?
12.
Right.
There's nothing.
Alabama.
Yeah. Little mock knife fights and all that kind of stuff.
Mock knife fight.
Oh yeah, dude. We'd go out and put the stick in a fire and get it burning and then put it out so it's all charcoal.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then we'd mark up each other.
Oh, that's good. Would
so
that help?
you can't lie. No, you didn't get me. Yes, I did. Oh, shoot.
Right.
Would that help working with Stallone and Cliffhanger?
Well, I didn't have any knife fights in that one.
Was anything ever scary though in a situation like that? Like, I mean, as far as like, you ever feel you're in danger in a movie like that?
Like Cliffhanger?
Yeah.
Oh, every day, man.
Really?
You're like flying. You're flying up in a helicopter every day to set.
It is nuts.
So every day I was like, I don't want to be in this thing. It's shaking like it's about to fall apart. I mean, it's like, yeah. No, I wasn't into that. So I had to, just get in this thing and hold my breath, and they'd take us up.
What about you, John? You would embrace that. I think John's an NFL guy who I think is a frustrated actor.
Really?
Right? I think you want to act.
I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be a lot
you'd
of
be
fun.
into that, though.
I
no?
would be. Yeah, sure. I love the movie, by the way. I love a lot of the movies that you've done. I think I'd be all right with that, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
with acting, you'd be all right.
No, with acting or with flying in a helicopter and doing all that stuff. I think that'd be cool. But I want to know, out of all the stuff that you've done, what are you proudest of? Because for me, Tombstone is a movie that, like, it's one of the best ever. Like I would watch that.
That's a great
every
movie.
day.
That's a great guy movie, man. It's great if you're if you're on a plane and Tombstone's available. That's a good way to really.
Yeah, I mean, I would watch that every day if I had.
You know what? It was a lot of fun. I've been shooting ever since. You know,
Right.
I'd shot guns before that because I'm an actor, and I shot guns when I was in Alabama. But I also, whenever I do a movie, they say, "Hey, there's your gun. There's yours. There's yours. There's yours." And I'd always have a pistol in my hand or something like that. And so after a while, I'm like, "What the hell? You know, these are real guns, dude. This is a real gun. You're giving real guns to a bunch of actors."
Yeah.
And without any instruction whatsoever.
Scary.
Then they just walk away. This is in the old days. They don't do that stuff anymore.
Right.
They're really
Now there's 4 guys around you who are gun experts.
real
and
anal.
safeties on.
Yeah. It's a big deal now, and rightly so.
Definitely.
But Tombstone was awesome.
And that got you into shooting.
Every day you go to set, you put your rig on, you got your guns on your hip, and you're walking around all day long of 12, 14, 16-hour days.
But in real life, did it get you back into shooting as a hobby, that movie?
Yeah,
you liked it? Oh, that's cool.
I ended up liking it a lot, and so I got pretty good at it, and I started shooting. Well, I shot the single actions, the old Western stuff.
Yeah. Sounds like a good way to get out your frustrations.